Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, where it's all about creating the life you want, the business you want, and making a real difference. Join us in unlocking the code to true success. And now your host, Tony Caliendo, Master Coach with reTHINK Coaching.
Welcome to the Mindset Architect Podcast, episode number 61. I'm Tony Caliendo, Master Coach here at reTHINK Coaching, and I want to thank you for sharing your time with me today. As always, time is our most valuable asset, and the fact that you're willing to invest and share your time with me is greatly appreciated. I want to talk to you today about mindset in a different way. I know we've talked a lot about thoughts and feelings and actions and results and how we manage our thought strategies. I want to talk today, though, a little bit about where you are on your journey in your career and business and life. And that's, are you of a growth or a fixed mindset? So it's going to be a little bit different conversation today, yet really, really important. You know, I want to acknowledge all of my clients and listeners who are in the real estate industry. It has been a bit of a ride, really since pre-COVID, COVID, and post-COVID for us. And I can say that because I've been a licensed agent since 2001. And I've not experienced anything quite like what we've experienced over the last 4 years. So I want to acknowledge that those of you who are in that industry and others are impacted as well, that your stick-to-itiveness, you're willing to commit to the industry does not go unnoticed. And I want to talk today about ways that we can help you think a little bit differently about your potential. If we're really honest with each other, it has been easy to move into more of a structured, fixed mindset as of late than ever before. And I want to talk to you a little bit about the difference so we can be on the same page as we move forward with this conversation. So growth mindset really is just somebody who believes that their abilities, their intelligence, their knowledge can continue to develop through effort, learning, and persistence. People that typically have a growth mindset view challenges as opportunities for growth. So there's someone who's willing to invest in themselves, to learn, to make the effort needed to do things differently, to succeed in a different way, and they're persistent. That's really what it's taken to navigate our current market right now. And this is a great mindset to have. Growth mindset is great. Now, given what has happened, I think a lot of us have moved more towards a fixed mindset, which is you're kind of reflecting or hold the belief that you're almost saturated with the knowledge that you need. Like I know everything I need to know about real estate, and then I don't necessarily need to change that. I know contracts. I know all the new stuff with NAR. I know how to negotiate. I know this stuff. I've done it before. And they stay in a place that they don't need to invest in education or learning. The big thing, though, with a fixed mindset is people with a fixed mindset tend to avoid challenges. They see their future as a reflection of their limitations. And so again, if you think about our current world with the economy, interest rates, if you're in the real estate industry, housing shortages, buyer uncertainty, consumer confidence being in the lower areas than it's been in a while, you can really start to dig in. And if you have been of a growth mindset, you might flip over to a fixed mindset because of all of the stuff we've been facing and looking at things as limits versus opportunity. You know, it's been said over and over and over, and I've been in the industry of real estate long enough to have been through 3 significant shifts, corrections, whatever you want to call it. But what's amazing to me is that during these times is when the greatest opportunity for building wealth is. And yet a lot of agents are seeing this market as full of limits or limitations. So I want you to just take a minute and assess, where are you? Are you this growth mindset where you are looking at all of these changes and challenges as tremendous opportunity? It's just an opportunity. It's just a different way of doing things. And I might need to go get a little more training, coaching, education on how to navigate the current situation, but it's full of opportunity. Or are you someone who is kind of digging in their heels saying, I don't want to do anything differently. I know what I'm doing. I know the industry. It's all of the external limits that are holding me back. And I am viewing the limits as a restriction and potential for me to fail. Which playground are you in right now? It's important for you to identify this. And it's okay if you are not typically someone of a fixed mindset, but are there now. You can change it. And that's what I want to do today, is to make sure that you're staying in the space of opportunity, staying in the space of great opportunity for you as an agent, as a human being. It's what you decide to make it. We're just one decision away from a different outcome. Now, impact for growth mindset, right, where it's going to foster resilience, right? When it comes to learning and achievement, if you're of a growth mindset, you're going to foster resilience and you're going to actually embrace and enjoy learning new things, higher achievement, and have a greater willingness to take risk than somebody who is fixed, right? You're going to be that person that craves feedback. If your growth mindset from a learning and achievement perspective, you are going to ask for feedback. You're going to learn to love it. You are going to learn from losses, failures. You're going to learn from any criticisms that you might receive, and you're going to persist in any setback. You're just going to view it as a setback, but not an end. It didn't go exactly as I thought it was going to go. Next. And you're persistent because you're going to take that feedback. You're going to take the criticism. You're going to take all of that information and you're going to do something with it to break through the setback or to break through the failure. So that is learning and achievement for a growth mindset person. If fixed mindset is your jam from a learning and achievement perspective, it can lead to a fear of failure, loss of motivation, giving up easily when faced with obstacles or setbacks. This type of belief or mindset can really limit your personal and professional development. And so I want us to think about something here, right? Reduced motivation. I can tell you, I have the privilege of talking to, in any given month, hundreds of agents across the country and internationally. And I am hearing, well, I talked about in the previous podcast about overwhelm, but I'm hearing a lot of, I've lost my mojo. I've lost my motivation. And I always find that statement to be humorous because it's not like a pen that you lost, right? It's an internal thing, your motivation. You didn't really lose it. You've just slid into more of a fixed mindset where there's this fear of failure. There's all of these elements that are causing you to not be so excited about taking action. So from a learning and achievement place, a fixed mindset can really stall you out from a motivation and really stall you out from wanting to learn anything new. And let's be honest, I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. One of my favorite mentors in the world who taught me how to be a great coach also reminded me that you never slide into home plate, meaning you never know everything you need to know. You've got to be aware of changes. You've got to be aware of opportunities. You've got to constantly be investing in yourself. That's why I always have more than one coach. You know, I have a coach for my business. I have a coach for my mind. I have a coach for my health. I've got the areas that are important to me because I know I will never know everything I need to know in business. I'll never know everything I need to know from a mindset perspective. And I will never know everything I need to know about health. That's just not, those aren't my areas of expertise, but I'm of a growth mindset. So I love having a coach who challenges me to think differently, and I embrace it. Even though I know some of the stuff we talk about is going to make me fail. We laugh about it. We're like, let's do this, let's measure it, let's see the results, and we may fail. So, staying in a place of a growth mindset is really important for learning and achievement. Again, a fixed mindset is going to set you back a little bit. And as agents, I'll be curious, as things have gotten more challenging, especially if you've never sold through a correction before, a shift, whatever you want to call it, that it can really mess with you mentally and really cause you to take pause of, am I going to survive this? And here's what I love is the strategy that we use, that I use with my one-on-one private and in our group, is that the market doesn't define you, you define the market. And so regardless if you are in a fixed mindset because you're scared or things aren't working quite the way you want, you've got the choice to turn it around. So if you're looking for ways to cultivate more of a growth mindset, which I have to be honest with you, if you're an entrepreneur, you need to be in this area 99.99999% of the time. If you slide into a fixed mindset, you need to get out of it as quickly as you can, because a fixed mindset is a ticket to failure. A fixed mindset is a ticket to not achieving your goals. Most of things that we do in life, business, as entrepreneurs, especially in real estate, is not static. I mean, just think about if you're in sales, that things are not static. They're always changing. Now, usually it's small changes, little incremental changes that we can still address through the skill set that we have. Yet in times like what we've experienced over the last 18 to 24 months post-COVID and during COVID, things were changing drastically. I mean, it wasn't like a little change, and it was not static. That is probably the one thing that I could bet on and always win on, is that real estate is not static. It's constantly changing. And I think that is part of the appeal for those of us in the industry who enjoy it so much, that it's a new game every day. You know, I've personally written thousands of contracts, sold thousands of homes. And what I know is that no two contracts are the same. And there's always a lesson in it for me. And as long as I'm willing to learn, I'm staying in a growth mindset. If I say, well, that's a one-off, I don't need to really worry about that, I'm never going to do that again, that's more of a fixed mindset. So creating a strategy for yourself to stay in the place of a growth mindset is really, really important. So number one, encourage self-reflection. Really be aware of your thoughts and beliefs about your abilities. Do not allow setbacks or failures to make you view yourself as someone who's not capable. Hold that space of belief. We have talked about this a million times. Hold the space of belief and possibility for yourself. Watch your negative self-talk. Refrain from doing that to yourself. We are the hardest on ourselves, but if you're looking to cultivate more of a growth mindset, you got to manage your thoughts. You got to manage your self-talk in a way that allows you to reframe any failure that you experienced as simply an opportunity, a learning experience. Like, wow, holy cow, that was amazing. I know I failed and it doesn't feel great, but my gosh, look at what I learned from it, so I won't fail again, versus just caving and moving away from it. Fostering an environment that celebrates effort over talent. And this is sometimes hard for some people to comprehend. And I'll hear this a bit. Like when I was an agent, sometimes I'll hear another agent say, oh my God, I've got so much more intelligence, meaning I know so much more about real estate than that person does, and they're crushing it and I'm over here dying. It's really about effort a lot of the time. It's effort gets you into the game, right? And so I always like to say, when you're looking at celebrating effort, are you on the field playing? Are you sitting in the stands critiquing? Get on the field and play. Create the effort. Embrace the process of learning and learning new things and understanding that you don't know everything. And if this is your first time going through a shifting market, or the first time going through a market that's correcting, and it's been doing this for a while, team. If it's your first time, go get some help, meaning hire a coach. Hire a coach like me that's been through 3 of these, sold through them, led through them. My clients right now are excelling because we are fostering an environment over celebrating our efforts versus just our knowledge. And we're learning new things together. So really take a moment to embrace that effort. Consistency is going to win. I really do. I've seen it happen before, where really talented, high producing agents get outperformed by less experienced agents, because the less experienced agent is willing to put in the effort. They don't have the mindset of, well, I've done that once before. I'm not doing it again. I'm just not doing it. I've done it. I've earned my stripes, right? I don't have to do that because of my position. Well, be careful you don't get out efforted by someone else, because that is going to also put you in the space of a growth mindset if you allow to focus on the effort and the consistent behavior. I think at the end of the day, team, growth mindset is really a healthier mindset to be. You're going to have a lot of wins, and you're going to have a lot of losses. It's how you deal with those in the process that keeps you either as a growth mindset person or someone who is fixed mindset. Growth mindset's going to almost kind of laugh at the failure. It's going to be like, okay, I failed. Great. Let's dissect it and learn. Fixed mindset's going to be like, oh my God, I failed. Did anybody see me fail? I'm not going to ever do that again because I don't want to fail again. So I am going to not do that again. And I'm just going to kind of sit back and see what happens. And I'm going to view this market or this situation as something I can't control, and that it is very limiting. I say this with a lot of love and kindness. I am so proud of every single client I have the privilege of coaching. It has not been easy. And yet we stay in the place of a growth mindset. We dissect failure. We believe that we can be in the top percent of agents who are selling, regardless of what's happening in the market. Each one of my one-on-one coaching clients are experiencing success at a level that is unheard of in the industry. They're in an exclusive group because they've done the work, they've put the effort in, and they're consistently showing up even when occasionally they're getting their teeth kicked. And at times, they're borrowing my belief in them, because I am going to be painfully honest. There are times when it's hard to believe in yourself, and that's when you need a coach. I believe in every one of my clients. I would bet on every one of my clients. I would hire every one of my clients over anybody else in the industry. And I hold that space of belief for them. And at times, no matter how resilient you are in a growth mindset, sometimes you just need somebody in your corner helping you stay in a growth place versus fixed. I believe a fixed mindset sometimes is perceived as an easier place to be. And it is, in terms of less effort, less risk, less exposure. I mean, if you're fixed mindset, you're not taking classes, you're not networking, you're not meeting people, you're not learning new things, you're holding on to old behaviors. You are resisting the chance of looking silly, right? We view failure as looking bad, and you are stuck. You've lost your motivation, and you really are giving up on yourself and losing your belief. That is somehow perceived as easier. I don't know if I believe that. I think that it is not, it may be easier in terms of effort, but it sure is more difficult to accept and put a lid on yourself and dim your light. So if you're in a fixed mindset, it's okay. Take a moment and just try to figure out, where exactly am I in this game? Is it fixed? Is it not? And if you are fixed, let's work on getting you out of it. Start with your beliefs. Start with your self-talk. Where am I with that? Am I controlling my thoughts? Go back to episode number 1 of this podcast and learn about the thought flow model. Am I navigating, managing my thoughts? Do I have thought management going on? Therefore, am I having healthy self-talk and conversations? Am I being my own best cheerleader? You need to be. You're with yourself 24/7. Focus on your abilities, focus on your effort, and be consistent. That is the quickest way to get out of, if you've slid into that fixed space, to move into a growth space. I'm going to say this: if you need anything, I would highly encourage you to hire a coach, particularly a reTHINK coach, and potentially me, to guide you through this process. We've got a lot of opportunities. One-on-one coaching is extremely powerful, as is group coaching. And if you're not in a financial position for one-on-one private coaching, then I would highly encourage you to look at, in particular, our 6-week Realtor Goal and Mindset Sprint. It is a powerful program that helps you stay in a growth mindset. It's 6 weeks of business strategies and thought strategies. The intention is helping you pick a goal, your goal, not mine, that's really important to you. It might be growth mindset. am working through over 6 weeks strategies to help you stay in that space. So always here to help you out. Offers always there. Email me, Tony@reThinkCoaching.com. Find me on Instagram and DM me, Google me, get my cell phone number, call me, go to our website, book a free call, whatever you need to do. If you're looking for help, please reach out. If you're stuck in a fixed mindset, reach out before it's too late. And I don't mean that to scare anybody, but I do seriously want to convey the message that if you're in a fixed mindset, it's never a climb up and out. It's a leveling and then a decline. So if you're in that space, if you've been stuck and you're starting to feel you're losing the game, you're most likely in a fixed mindset. Reach out. Always, always, always happy to help you out. And go make it a great week, team. We've got time left this year to make a difference. We had a lot of time left this year to make a difference. Work on you, work on this growth versus fixed, and I promise you'll be setting yourself up for a brilliant new year. Talk to you soon. If you enjoyed listening to this podcast, you must come check out the Mindset Architect Group Coaching Program. It's our monthly program where we explore the power of your mindset, help you identify what you truly want in business and life, and then help you reach those goals. Come check us out at rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. That's rethinkcoaching.com/group-program. We'll see you there.